season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you ask any team in the country, they'd like to be sitting at 9-0 and in our ranking. So yeah, we're happy, but certainly not satisfied. There's work to be done.
How about your position group?
Playing well. I think we had a little slide in the Michigan State game, but other than that, I think they've learned from it and are moving on.
What's the key for you guys to, in the short yardage situations, in the red zone, that you've been as effective as you have?
Well, I think pretty much in those kind of situations, short yardage, it's just gap integrity. The guys up front know their gaps, linebackers stay in their gaps, and the secondary fits and fills where needed. So that's very important in short yardage. And then red zone is something we work day in and day out. I mean, starting on Monday all the way through Friday, that's an area we hit every day. So it's important in the game, and you have to practice it.
You talked about Channing and run support earlier in the year. Have there been some teaching moments there in the past
few
weeks?
I would, yes, absolutely. And the Michigan State game is a big teaching moment, and he realized it. He knew he was wrong, and he fixed it, and that's important. I just got to keep building on it. That's what he has to do.
How do you fix that exactly?
You work at it. I mean, we practice. We just do some tackling drills, and we have nice talks about it too.
Is that just like a want-to thing? Like you got to be willing to do it? Does it boil down to just kind of that?
A lot of the time it is, yeah, absolutely. And and a lot of coaches will say, "Is he willing?" And he has been, and that's what was so disappointing in that game. So.
Lewis and Desmond King both on the field this weekend, two really good corners. I know those guys know each other for a long time. Have you ever noticed Jordan talking about him or working with him or anything like that?
No, I haven't. We talked briefly about it Monday. They knew each other, but that's pretty much where it ended. I don't know. I don't know their relationship. Yeah.
Jim called Levert a mini Jordan Lewis or a young Jordan Lewis type. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that.
Some similarities there?
There's a lot of similarities, absolutely. He's going to be a fun player to coach. He has all the ability in the world. He really does. And he's just got to grow with it and be able to mature with it.
Where's David Long at this point?
David, he's right there. He's right there. David's very cerebral. It's great to have in the room. Really smart kid. He's on top of it. He's going to be another good one. They're young. They're young and they still got a long way to go. Their body's got to mature yet, along with their minds. But they got some good stuff in them for sure.
Levert got in there with the first team, especially in this last game. I mean, is that something is there a hesitation because at a freshman point, a trust thing, or is it just about the play?
It's just about the experience. I wouldn't say the trust. It's just getting experience, and slowly we're getting him that. So and if it comes up this weekend where we feel there's an opportunity for him to get more experience, he's going to get it.
What's one area where Levert might be ahead of his years?
Well, I think he's very natural at the position with his eyes and feet. It's just like it's how you want it to be done. Pretty much most of the time he does it in our press technique, so he's really good at it.
Become a natural technician?
Yes, exactly. It just comes natural to him.
I'm guessing this doesn't surprise you, the success. Did you have an idea in mind when you saw the talent here? At what point you guys would put it all together and be competing for championships?
Well, we came here last January. We were kind of like, wow, okay, we got to fix some things here. And as last year went along, you could see the talent starting to come out. So, going into the summer, we were all very excited, and you got to give the kids a lot of credit. They worked extremely hard from last spring through the summer and now into this fall. So, got to give them credit, and I think they could see that they have some opportunities ahead of them.
Does Pepper's competitiveness and intensity rub off on the other guys, or do you have enough guys like that it's really just a kind of a group thing?
Well, that's the cool thing. I mean, we've got guys that are competitive, and certainly Pep is very competitive, and I would, I'm not taking anything away from Pep. I would say that, his ability and his leadership and his work ethic, they all see it, and everybody sees it. They just kind of rub off on each other, all those things.
you think that when Jim came in here and you're part of the staff, it seems like he has some of an NFL mentality in terms of how he approaches things and structure and stuff. Is that some, and you've worked at other colleges, I mean, is it different, kind of the way he set this up a little bit?
A little different, but, you know, there's only so much you can do in our time frame as far as the hours that we have set up, you know, in college, so it is a little different.
The idea of taking them every game the same,
well,
that's more of it seems like it's more of a pro mentality too than.
maybe, I don't know. I've always taken the same approach to any game, right? So for me, it's no different.
Having staff with this many guys with NFL background, et cetera, and players were talking about this yesterday, just in terms of just being open about talking about the NFL aspiration. Is that, you think players appreciate that? You know, it's
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we're there. We've played it. We've coached it. We've experienced it. So, you know, yeah, I'm glad they ask because for a lot of guys, it's a real thing, and if they want to get there, they got to be able to play well. So we talk about it quite a bit, actually, and I think it's a great thing.
I'm assuming Jordan was part of those conversations last year. Were you surprised from the NFL perspective of him wanting to come back to school?
No, I wasn't. I really wasn't. He not once in any discussion mentioned anything about leaving, so I wasn't surprised.
Has Jabril mentioned leaving?
No, I haven't. Honestly, haven't even talked about that. Haven't talked about that.
From your vantage point, I'm sorry, Wilton, how far has he come from what you've seen in a
you
year
know,
and a
from
half?
from Minnesota last year to now, unbelievable. I mean, the kid every week just keeps getting better and better, and super kid, man. Great head on his shoulders, and is taking it all well, taking it in stride, but getting better every week. You know, he's not resting for sure.
So going back to the Jordan NFL thing, so there was never a conversation about it. I assume, like, talent-wise, he was good enough to go. Why wasn't there that conversation, I guess? He just wasn't
He
interested.
never brought it up, and I wasn't bringing it up. So that just never happened. Yep.
What's the most difficult aspect of defending a tunnel screen from a safety's perspective?
Just the big guys coming at him. Are you talking about the two that we had Saturday? Yeah, you know, and those are zones, so you're not in a man situation. Both of the big plays were in zone where guys are off, and it's just a little softer, and you know, we just got our eyes in the wrong place. But you know, for a zone guy coming down, the big guys are coming right at you. So.
You guys obviously love playing at home in front of 110,000, but are there aspects of going on the road that you particularly like?
Yeah, I get to get a good night's sleep on Friday night before the game. You know, the road's a road. I've been doing this a long time. I don't even think about it. It's just another game and another. Get on the bus, get on the plane, off the bus, you know, into the hotel.
So the coaching in those situations is no different?
I don't think of it as any different. No.
In the defensive meeting rooms, do you and Don Brown ever disagree on anything? Does he encourage that, and how does that work? I mean, have you ever disagreed with a game plan?
Yeah, I mean, there's some things, small things that we disagree on, and that's why we're there. I mean, if we all said yes to everybody, then I don't think it'd be a very good defense. You know, that's why we're here to put our information, our ideas into the game plan, and you know, certainly he has the last say. But Don has been very open from the moment he got here last January. You know, when we were down in Florida, getting ready for the Florida game. Very open, and it's been very helpful for all of us. You know, nobody's afraid to give input, and I think that's a great thing for any staff. Any work environment. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. When you were talking about talking to Channing, I mean, how much of that is that necessary, or is it? I mean, you said he knew what went wrong. Do you have to make a point to him as well?
I probably didn't have to, but I had to. You know? I mean, he knew he was in the wrong, but I'm a coach. I'm his coach. He needs to know from me, his coach, what he did right and what he did wrong. You know, there's times to pat him on the butt, and then there's times to let him know when he's wrong. So.
Coach.